What is up, everybody? Welcome to episode 23 of the Nightly Nonsense Podcast. I'm your host, Adam. I'm here with Dave and Chris. Hopefully, Chris makes it the whole time. He's had some technical difficulties tonight, so bear with us.
It's taken us 45 minutes just to get going.
Kind of crazy.
Hey, it's vacation.
It is vacation.
So, I was telling you this, Dave, Chris, when you were having your technical difficulties. I saw a video right before we hopped on here, and I want to get your guys' organic reaction, your organic answer. So is this guy saying, like, this is a very weird situation, but, like, you're talking with a guy, and, like, he's like, I'm athletic, and you're looking at him, you're like, I don't believe that you're athletic. What is the one thing that you are having that guy do to prove his athleticism to you?
How athletic is he trying to prove himself? Just base level or like I'm an athlete?
We'll say I'm an athlete. So like this guy's thing he said, the two that he said where he was like, I would always judge someone's athleticism. I would ask them to throw me a baseball or throw me a football. And just by like how I look at you as you're throwing a baseball or football, I can tell if you have some sort of athletic ability.
Yeah, because if some people who throw the way that they throw, you look at that person and you're like, you haven't played a sport in your entire life. But there's people like me, for example, who could throw a baseball pretty well. But I don't think anyone's looking at me and saying, athlete. That guy, athlete.
That was another.
That's fair.
That's not what I was going to say. But another thing on that is like you see professional soccer players like attempt to shoot a basketball or throw a football, and like I think we would all agree that Cristiano Ronaldo is an athlete. But if you've ever seen that man try and throw a football, you'd be like, this guy is not athletic at all. So I don't think it's obviously the end all be all, but I do think you can get a lot out of like, okay, this guy's played a sport before, or this guy can.
Based on a throwing motion of some sort.
If I had my choice, I'd put them through like a little small Olympics in my backyard in which they had to like throw a baseball, shoot a basketball, hit a putt, run, do 20
Just
jumping jacks.
All the like entry level things of all of those respective sports.
Right. And then if you pass it at the end of it, I'm just like, all
Okay.
right, you're an athlete. Verified.
You might have messed around in gym class a little bit.
Yeah, I think running itself is a pretty telling thing, and the reason I say that is that there can be, bigger people, smaller people, whatever, but the way that they run,
the form,
like there's plenty of small people out there who probably run, and you look at that person, you're like, that was the most unathletic looking thing I've ever seen in my life. And then
like they kick the legs or how they pump the arms.
Yeah, exactly. Running on their toes or something, or like.
Well, that's just emphasizing the calves. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, well, touche. But I don't know. I think running is a pretty.
I think the burden of proof falls on the athlete. So I think the fairest way to do it would be like, okay, how would you choose to prove to me? Like, so that way a soccer player could be like, all right, watch me juggle this. A football player could be like, watch me throw this. Like, and then you can judge based on those. I could feel like I could judge anyone based on their ability to demonstrate their chosen skill, right?
Okay.
Like,
yeah, that's fair.
It's just like there needs to be someone in Hollywood that's just hired to teach actors how to pretend to throw a football.
Oh my, it's terrible.
It's unbelievable, some of the videos
the
that are out
clips are
there.
always so bad.
Yeah. Or that guy that they got to play Kurt Warner in that movie about his life. That guy looks ridiculous when he's throwing the ball. I mean,
there's those in pretty much any like Disney movie, like when you have someone do anything where it's throw a football, shoot a basketball, some of those are pretty bananas. I saw a clip the other day. Do you guys remember? I think it was called Double Teamed, where it was like the two twin basketball players. It was an older Disney movie.
It's not a website.
Might be, but I'm talking about the Disney Channel original film.
Don't search that on your work computer.
Either way, it's like one of the sisters gets hurt, but then she finally comes in like in the championship game, and it's like 7 seconds left on the clock, and they like started the timer when it hit 7 seconds, and then they ran out like the movie 7 seconds, then the actual like what the actual time was. It was like 30 seconds past, and the TV 7 seconds. It's like that's Disney Channel at its finest right there.
Classic Disney.
That's classic. I love that.
So I feel like we've been a little sports heavy lately, so we're gonna mix it up for the people. First, we're gonna just give some personal updates. How's everyone doing on their New Year's resolutions? Dave, I know a while back we mushed it together and we gave you that you've watched one of your 5 shows with all of the series of stuff that you put together. Have you made any progress? Have you identified a second show? Or are we even there? Do we have identification and maybe you've watched the pilot? Where are we sitting?
We're a podcast of accountability and honesty here. And so I'm not going to come in here and I'm not going to tell you, yeah, I've done all this research, I've started any shows, because if I did that, I'd be lying. I haven't done anything. But
with that being said, we do have a flight tomorrow, approximately 2 hours. You could pick a show, you could download a couple epis, you could kick it off.
I could. And we've also discussed at length on this show, on this podcast, what shows I need to watch. So I know
I do have something to say about that though, because I'm torn. Because there is this list of things of stuff that you really need to watch, but then at the same time, I want you to watch stuff that I think you'll really enjoy. So have you watched the new Apple TV show out, Kings of the Air?
Masters of Air.
I really want to watch that.
See, that is like right up your alley. So maybe you should just watch that next.
I think
Chris
I should
and I
watch
are 4
that.
episodes in. I'm
good.
a big fan.
Yeah, it's good.
I hear it's great. Does Austin Butler have Elvis accent on the entire show? Because he can't
call
keep
it
it in real
Elvis,
life.
but no, he's gotten rid of it a little bit now.
Has he?
Yeah, that was brutal there for a while.
I mean, he could. He was like, thank you very much. I'm like, you're not in the movie anymore, Austin.
I'm a big fan of him, though. Good actor.
Oh,
but there's only 4 episodes out, right?
Yeah.
So
maybe 5.
That's your trip there, and you start something on your trip back.
And I think that's a safe show because one of the ones obviously we've talked about is Game of Thrones. But if you're gonna do Game of Thrones, you're gonna have to like hide your screen because
you have to have
you can't.
Like,
that's not a watch on an airplane type show.
You need premiere conditions. You need premiere conditions for that.
I'm not watching Game of Thrones on my phone on a flight. I got to watch that in the man cave with all the lights off on the big screen.
God, I'd give anything to be there.
You can.
Sounds electric.
Yeah, it is electric. But anyway, that's my update. I will make it a goal within. I won't say this week because we're going to be out of town this weekend, and I do a lot of show watching on weekends when I have the opportunity. So I'll say within the next 2 weeks, I will be started on my next show.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Hold me accountable.
All right. 2 weeks. I'm checking back in.
Have you seen the Iron Man movies?
Chris, we've talked about this.
The only Marvel movie he's seen is Endgame.
You should watch Iron Man 1 on one of the flights for sure. That's a good flight movie.
I feel like you're right. I feel like that would be a good one to watch. I've never seen any Marvel movie except Endgame, and to be honest, a good thing for me is I don't remember anything from that movie.
All right, I'll text you my login details.
Except I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark.
There you go.
I knew that. But,
Chris, how about yourself? Where are you sitting on your up-deezies?
In honesty. Here we go. I feel like this is deja vu. There you go. This podcast is sponsored by On.
No.
No.
We have a solid what?
What is it solid? We're never going to know.
We're never going to finish this episode.
No.
So as we're waiting for him, I'll just go ahead and... Oh, he's back.
He's back.
Oh, no, he's
gone.
not.
He's gone.
So I myself, I have finished one book and I am on to book 2, but I feel like set myself up for failure because I went from like a 300-page book to like a 700-page book.
Yeah.
So I might be taking too big of a leap. We'll see how it goes for me, but I'm 5 or 6 chapters in. Chris, you left us on a cliffhanger. How close are you to being done with your book?
I got a couple chapters left. I'm above half, but I don't know if I'm 3/4 yet.
Are you still reading this kid's book?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Is this a one book wonder, or is this a series?
It's I think it's a series. I don't know if I'll keep reading it though. I need to up the level a little bit, but that's also I feel like hindered me a little bit because I haven't been super inclined to read it.
Is it a series of unfortunate events?
Ooh, great books.
I did read
better books than shows for sure. They've tried it shows a couple different times.
The movie, I think they did a movie once, and that wasn't great.
It was
the Netflix
average,
with Neil Patrick Harris was okay, but not great.
It's just never as good as the books. Yeah, books always
can't do the books justice.
No,
Dave, what are you sipping on there?
So tonight I'm mixing it up. Usually I'm a Hoop Tea guy. You know, we're sponsored by Hoop Tea here. But tonight it's the beginning of vacation, so I'm going with a nice Wayne Gretzky number 99 Canadian whiskey.
Okay,
it's pretty good, I would say.
How does that compare to the Chris Pronger? Would you say Wayne has a better product?
Well, Wayne is a better hockey player, so naturally his whiskey is also better. Yes.
Okay.
I would say it's more expensive. It's a higher quality for sure. I don't really know when I drink all this because I don't usually drink very much during the week. I don't drink at all during the week, and I'm not sure I've ever poured this up on the weekend, but it appears that I've drank a lot of it. So
you don't remember putting a decent little Densky in there.
It's a common if I have guests over, I pull this out because the people are, it's Wayne Gretzky. Yeah.
Okay. This is the only time you'll ever catch me drinking anything non-chill.
Non-chill?
The non-chill filtered.
Is that a little Four Rosy small batch?
Yeah, small batch selects, actually.
Ooh, small batch select.
Crafted from 6 unique bourbons. It's really good.
That?
It's really good.
I love that.
Cheers.
I like a good Four Rosies.
Nice. Yeah.
I got
Adam, what do you got?
Nice little Modelo for myself.
Oh, you're on beach time. You're on island time, aren't you?
Which I feel like role reverse because I feel like usually I'm the one drinking the burbski.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. And you're drinking beers tonight.
Yep.
I love that.
Oh.
I love it. Oh, no.
What's next?
I don't know what that was.
No. Chris, I feel like you missed my update. So just for you.
Yeah.
I've finished one book and I've started book 2, but I feel like I've really set myself up for failure because I jumped from like a 300-page book to like a 700-page book.
I like that. You challenge yourself.
I'm just really leaning into it.
What's the new book?
Is
it what genre?
So I will call it fantasy. It's like Game of Thronesy.
Okay.
But it takes place in like a futuristic Asia.
Oh, I love that. Love that.
Wow.
So I'll let you know how it goes. This last chapter, the emperor just died, and now like it's these 2 younger guys I think are going to end up becoming potentially the next emperor, and they'll be like rivals of each other.
Love that.
It'll be a new groove, I bet.
Send me it. Maybe I'll read that too. That sounds good.
Okay.
Come on, that joke. No one.
I missed it.
I heard you.
I missed
Emperor's New Groove. I saw what you were going.
Pull the lever. Wrong lever.
I saw what you were going.
Did not get nearly enough reaction out of either one of you. Come on.
I pride myself on my movie knowledge and my ability to pick up on quotes, but as we said, we are a podcast based on integrity, and I can't lie to you guys, and I've seen that movie like all of one time.
I just didn't even hear it. Squeak, squeak, squeaker, squeak, 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 squeaks.
See, like I can't even laugh because I don't even know what you're referencing.
Well, don't laugh then. It was funny.
I can't do it. I'll have to watch it. I got my flight movie for tomorrow, Emperor's New Groove.
I'll be rocking Emperor's New Groove on the flight.
You'll be laughing in public for sure. It's so funny.
Yeah, you'll be like, ah.
Usually my go-to on flights is I'll watch a Harry Potter, and then I always have like 20 to 30 minutes left before we land. So I'm not going to start a whole new movie. So I go to Lord of the Rings 2 and just watch the battle scene.
That's pretty crazy.
that is a wild.
But it's so good.
Sequence of events.
Interesting.
All right.
So I said it at the beginning. I feel like we've been very sports heavy lately.
Have we
I feel like we've talked about this in the past, but because it was just Valentine's Day and I saw a lot of it, I want both of your guys' opinions on this. Where do you sit on people like everyone's posting on Valentine's Day, like on their story, or whether it even be a post about their significant other, or birthdays for significant others, birthdays for parents, picture with you and your dad or your mom for Mother or Father's Day? Where do you guys sit on those posts? Because for me, I'm just like, who are you posting that for? You know?
Yeah.
Like, my mom or dad don't have an Instagram. So, like, for me to post Happy Father's Day and a picture of my dad, I'm literally just, like, fishing for likes so people know I like my dad. Like, why else am I posting that on Instagram if he's not going to see it?
Yeah. No, I hear
well,
you.
Dad's a little different than Mom. Like, yeah, your dad doesn't care at all, but your mom might like it.
Your mom.
My mom would never see it. She also doesn't have Instagram.
Well, not everybody's moms and dads are the same.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. You can go look. I've done it before, so I can't.
I have too.
I can't sit here and say that I'm
past.
against it. Like, I'm not against it. I think it's, if you want to, sure, go ahead. But you can also see that in the past, probably a couple of years, or I don't know, recently, I haven't posted anything like that, and I don't really feel strongly about it, to be honest.
Okay.
But I see other people. I'm like, oh, that's a nice picture. Then I move on and forget about it, and that's that.
Okay. Chris,
I feel
strong
like,
feelings for or against?
Chris is gonna. I know Chris. He's gonna take a hardline stance one way or the other.
That's not me at all. I am a fence sitter, bro. I sit the fence.
but I can see it in your eyes.
No, I don't. I really don't, because I think it depends on the relationship with the person that you're posting it for. Like, what I don't like is, like, I hate that you have to choose that you're either in or out, right? So, like, you either lean into it and then you have to post for everything, right? Mm-hmm. Or you're out and you don't post for anything. That's not how I operate. Like, if I have good pictures from some event, I'm going to post those. But, birthdays, you definitely post for. Valentine's Day, maybe a story. Like, I don't know if you need a full post for it, but there's social obligations to it. I get it, but I don't know. I don't love it. I get your point. Like, who are you posting for, really?
Exactly.
And I don't know. A lot of people.
I feel like a majority of the time you're posting for the person that you're posting it for, because you want them to feel appreciated. But in this hypothetical that you're presenting, Adam, if the person doesn't even have the social media, then no, don't post. That doesn't make any sense.
But also, like, I guess I fall, I guess, more in the camp now of, like, there is so much more meaningful things you can do off of social media rather than just wish them a happy birthday on your social media. And really, I feel like I made a big pivot from that when, I don't even remember who it was, but I was, like, trying to figure out if these two people were still in a relationship. And I was like, I don't know, he hasn't posted about her on Instagram in a while. And then I went into my Instagram, and it had been like 3 years since Kristen had been in the post. I was like, I can't use that as a barometer anymore.
Yeah.
It's also, I feel like, just like growing up in your relationship, probably. Like, I feel like at the beginning of a relationship, you're posting probably a lot more because it's new. You want people to know about it. And then just as you get more comfortable in the relationship, the social media aspect of it isn't as important. Like you said, Dave, like at the beginning, you're like, oh, it means a lot. He put me on his story or he posted about me, where like 2 or 3 years down the line, like that doesn't hold that much weight anymore.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, like, so at that point, like, if you're single, like, your social media is essentially like your marketing efforts, right?
Yeah.
So, like, when your significant other gets inserted into your marketing efforts, it makes them feel good because they're like, all right, I'm part of his business plan, right? And then you get, once you're like deeper into a relationship, like I don't need to be marketing anymore, right? Like I don't need to post on Instagram ever really. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
Chris,
to your
I feel
point,
like the only time you post, and Adam, you're kind of the same way, is like the boys' trips. Or like
I hardly even.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Even then, you're competing. Like I know that you're about to have those pictures, the same exact pictures up like 4 hours before me. And so like essentially I've stopped doing it kind of because all of us will just post the same photos, and then there's like 10 of us with the same photos on the feed.
And we have a lot
right
of the
after.
same followers. We have a lot of the same followers.
I'm just like Dave's got me with some cross-channel content here.
My last post was November of 2023, which was engagement photos. And then it was October of 2022 when I got engaged. And then it was September of 2021 for Chris and I's 10-year anniversary. Ooh, post twice in 2021. Big year. The last time I posted about the golf trip is when we were in Lauderdale.
Yeah, my last post was Thanksgiving, and then before
and I think
that,
it's the same reason, like you just said, like.
Oh, that's me.
It's the same
love
reason.
that video so much.
It's the same reason you just said, though, Chris. Like, we don't all need to just be blowing up people's timeline. Like, they're getting it from Dave. They're getting it from someone else. You don't need it from all of us.
You can usually rely on me. I'm always posting.
I feel like of the homies, you're probably the most active on the Instagram.
That's because he's still marketing.
Dude, according...
It's all marketing. How's the market research?
My social media includes Chris front and center with no shirt on.
If you look at that photo, like if you zoom in on everyone's face, that's pretty like not a great photo of like anyone.
Well, we're also just getting blasted with the sun. We're all like looking directly into the sun.
All viciously hungover on a boat, just.
Chris?
I wasn't even there.
Yeah, where were you?
Asleep.
Anyway. Yeah, I mean, if you look on my social media, I'm sick. I go on a bunch of boys' trips. I go to Mexico. I go golfing. I go to Morgan Wallen concerts.
The guy's friggin' sick.
I'm in parades. Like
you are sick, Dave. First of all, you're awesome.
The
vertical stripes look great on you, Dave.
I don't know about that. I go to sports games. Yeah.
So I
look like Jonah Hill.
I feel like this is going to lead perfectly into the next thing I wanted to talk about. So Dave, would you consider like red flag or green flag if they're we'll say not active on social media? Like if you started talking to a girl and like maybe she didn't even have Instagram, or she had Instagram but she hardly ever posts, is that a warning sign to you? Is that a red flag?
No, because it's not really a thing I'm too concerned about. I mean, I feel like, as we've established in this conversation, social media is a very personal preference thing. So like if she posts a bunch on social media and that's her thing, like I don't care. But if she doesn't post at all, then I also don't care because not everyone's into it. So, I mean, it doesn't matter to me.
But that's kind of like, I guess it depends how you guys met. But that's also sometimes like level one. Like,
well, it's how you do your market research.
If you can't do your market research, but then it makes for a more organic, probably a better first date exchange. You got more to talk about because you haven't answered all of your questions from
higher
Instagram.
retention rate.
You're not going into the date and be like, so how was your bachelorette party in Montana that you went on in 2021, you know?
Well, that would probably be a red flag to her if I walked in and said that immediately.
No, she'd show that you've taken interest in her interest.
Okay. You're right.
So an important kind of niche here is the girlfriend posting for another girl's birthday. Because Dave said it earlier, you're posting for that person. That's what he said. He feels like you're posting for that person. But the classic cliche for girls posting on other girls' birthdays is they post a bunch of pictures in which they look really good and the actual birthday person does not look good. So who is it really for?
Or the best is when it'll be like for a wedding and they're like in the bride with like one picture in their thing is with the bride, then the rest of it is like maybe a couple solo shots, maybe one them with some other people. But it's like so happy for Chris and Alexa. It's like, are you though?
They probably were.
Yeah. No. I mean, yeah, you're right about that. And then girls who repost everything, which this is like every girl, I feel like, or a lot of them, but they repost everyone who posted about them on their birthday. Nothing.
Well, that's just how you show how many friends you have.
Yeah,
exactly. You just stole the words out of my mouth.
That's the new. How many happy birthdays did you get on Facebook?
Yeah. It's
and
like,
how many stories can you reshare of people that shouted you out for your birthday?
If we've learned anything on this podcast about social media, is I have no business ever posting on social media ever again, and most likely in 10 years I'm going to look back and regret everything that I just posted.
Including that video of me dancing.
I'll never regret that.
No regrets there.
Yeah. No.
So Dave, for the ladies listening out there, what are some Dave green flags and what are some Dave red flags?
Oh, really put me on the spot on this segment. I think a big red flag for me is...
Before you answer, I'm actually going to split this up into 2 different categories. So let's say it's first date, you guys are like at dinner. What is a red flag that would happen at dinner that if she was like, oh, would you like to like come back to my house for another drink, that you would turn it down because this happened at dinner? And then what would be a red flag that you made it back to her house, but you see something in her house that you're like, there will never be a second date?
Okay. So
those are your categories.
Wow. I should have probably prepared more, but I have a red flag at dinner right away that I'm ready to just spill on out.
So go ahead.
So red flag at dinner that is like, I want to end this and get home as soon as possible, is if they get completely drunk out of their mind or like heavily intoxicated to the point of like if you're on a first date and you are pounding drinks and get to a point of being obnoxious, then that's a huge red flag.
Yep.
Because
I think that's fair.
Yeah. It shows immaturity.
That also shows you parties, though.
Yeah, but that's not, at our age, like I'm not looking for someone that I can be like, oh, I'm ready to party.
Okay.
Just being reasonable here. So, I mean, if she's doing that at dinner, then it shows a lack of maturity. It shows, a lot. It shows a lot of things. So that would be my answer there. Chris, you have one?
Yeah, and I can't believe you passed on this. It's probably your second red flag, but ordering milk is a immediate red flag.
Oh, my God. Wow.
Right away.
Yeah.
I mean,
been there.
I agree with the drinking one. I think, like, if they were on their phone a lot during a first date, I would be so turned, out of that for sure. If they treat waitstaff poorly, out immediately. I mean, those are great answers. I'll stick with those.
The assumption. Hold on, one quick. I have another one. And then
I think this is going to more or less answer the question that I'm about to ask.
Yeah, we're talking about the bill. We know.
Yeah. Okay. There you go.
Go ahead.
The assumption that obviously I'm going to pay for it. I'm a gentleman. Like, I get that. But like,
heard it here first, ladies.
But like,
free dinner
marketing.
Or you can go in with that's what it says on the screen. If you go in and just assume that I'm going to pay for it, then that's a red flag. Or like make comment, like don't offer to pay for your own or anything like that.
So you like a little show business involved, like you're gonna pay for it, but you don't want them to act like you want
to do the bill dance. You want it to set down. She grabs it, and you're like, no,
Daddy Dave's got this with my stereotypical gender roles.
Yep, exactly. You've nailed it.
So I pride myself on the fact that I feel like I'm a bit of a foodie. Like, I'm an adventurous eater. I like trying new things. If you took them to, like, we'll call it a nicer restaurant, and they ordered like chicken fingers. What does that do for you? Because don't get me wrong, I love chicken fingers, but if you're at like a nice restaurant and she's like, I just want the chicken fingers and fries.
That wouldn't bother me that much. I don't care.
That would bother me.
It would be a good topic of conversation, honestly. I'd be like, oh, go to a fancy restaurant and you're getting chicken fingers?
Or like, what if I'm going to throw Bobo under the bus here because he gets... We were at a restaurant once, and he got buffalo wings and asked for a side of marinara sauce.
Classic Caleb Bobo
That's
story.
just horrifying.
So, like, if you were at she was like, "Can I get the spaghetti and meatballs with a side of ranch?" Like, are you like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, probably out on that.
Yeah. I feel like there are some weird food things that if they get to...
Chicken tenders, though? You can't set me up like that, because that's probably a green flag. Chicken tendies?
Ordering some chicken tendies and fries?
For me, it's just one of those things like, for example, one year for Christmas, I got my parents a gift card to Tucker's, which is just like, not the most elite steakhouse in St. Louis, but... many steps above like a Texas Roadhouse or an Outback.
Many steps
and those are
above.
like the only places that my parents go. So I'm like, I got you this gift card because I want you guys to treat yourself. Then they went to dinner and I was like, oh, what'd you guys get? And my dad goes, I got the pork chop and your mom got shrimp scampi. I'm like, but I wanted you to go for the steak. But ultimately they enjoyed their dinner. They had a great time. They said it tasted delicious, but I was like, that wasn't the purpose of this.
Yeah. I'll just be straight up honest. That's not going to be a red flag for me just because I do feel like it's almost a good conversation piece also.
To be fair, also in like a first date scenario, like you probably shouldn't be taking them to a place that like you don't want to go too nice on the first date. You got to find that nice middle ground, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know. We can't be policing people's plates in one hand. But on the other hand, if it's something really weird...
Yeah, like I said, if they got spaghetti and meatballs with a side of ranch dressing, that's an issue.
Yeah, that's like, all right, like, what else is going on that I'm going to have to put up with?
All right,
I would probably be a red flag if someone did that because I would not stop giving them crap like the entire meal. Like, I would be telling that girl, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Like, did you really just order that? And like completely just make her feel like trash for ordering that at dinner.
You'd be a real jerk about it.
Yeah, but like in a fun way.
Okay. So now we're going to upgrade to the dinner portion of the evening was phenomenal.
Great.
She invites you back for a nightcap. You step into the house. What is something that you could see in this girl's house that you would be like, I am never coming back?
I got some great answers.
I have a very distinct answer for this one for me personally.
Distinct answer.
You want me to go first, Dave?
Yeah. I want to hear your guys' answer.
Any number above, honestly, 6. Any more than 6 crystals in immediate eye view, and any crystals above 6 inches is an immediate red flag.
Mine is a crystal.
Any more than 2 cats, immediate red flag.
Oh, definitely. That's what I was going to go with, was cats. A heavy amount of cats.
I will say, I feel like 2 is okay because then it's like, their cat as a buddy, but if you get to 3 cats as a single female, that's an issue.
That's an issue.
Yeah, for me, crystals is a big one. Like, I was going to bring up if at dinner, if you ask the question, like, tell me about yourself, and she's like, well, I'm a Pisces, so I get along with everyone. Like, I'd be like, we can just take the check now. Like, this is just never going to work. If you're super into, like, your astrological sign. If I get to your house and you're like have dream catchers over your bed, like that's another one. And I think the dream catcher girl is very similar to the crystal girl.
Yeah.
Like let's say it's nice outside and you're like sitting on her back patio and she just has like a bunch of crystals on the table and she's like, oh, they're charging. I'd be like, I will see myself out, thank you.
The dream catcher crystal girl is the same breed, I would say, for sure.
Yeah.
I think that an overabundance of stuffed animals, like, I think that all this comes back for me, it seems, to maturity level. But if you have like more than one or two stuffed animals, then that's kind of a little bit of a
serious question off of that. Are pillows just grown up stuffed animals?
Maybe.
Yeah. But more socially acceptable and not a red flag if there's a bunch of pillows.
Yeah.
How many pillows?
There's a lot of pillows. There's a limit of pillows for sure.
Are we talking like 6 pillows, 7 pillows?
If
10?
there's no clearly defined seating area because of pillows, we're walking into some territory that I don't love.
That's true.
What if they have an overabundance of like when you're here, you're home, like those like super corny signs?
I don't care about that. Okay. But what I do care about is if the place looks like a college boy or something lives there. Like, I feel like
that
I'm
would
somebody.
Be an issue for sure.
Yeah, like as in like, and I don't mean literally college, but like for example,
if it's just dirty.
Yeah, dirty, like
clothes
trash,
on the floor, like just not
clothes
well
everywhere. Not
exactly. I got a great one. Anything smaller than a 28-inch TV, red flag.
Red flag.
We don't appreciate the same things.
Doesn't have red zone. Red flag.
Yeah. I walk in and say, if this is going to work, you're going to need a bigger TV, because if I'm going to spend any time here, no way I can watch TV.
I'm going to be locked in on that TV.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think another one that kind of goes off that is like, anyone who's been to my house, like, I feel like I generally have kind of like a good style, I try to make my house look
cohesive,
nice or cohesive. If I'm rolling in and you got like a desk chair in your living room and like a little couch that looks like trash and nothing on the walls or something like that, I'm going to be like, does someone live here, or is this like a crack house?
If they're poor, red flag, basically.
No, that's not what I'm saying. You can get decent stuff from, thrift stores.
For a fair price.
Exactly.
Red flag, if I walk in and there's 2 kids walking around the apartment.
Yep. Not prepared for a ready-made family.
2? What if there's just one?
I'll play with him for a little bit, see if he's any good at Xbox or anything, and we can go from there.
Okay. If he beats you in Xbox, you're never going back.
Yeah.
All right. I got a real quick story that goes off of that. Adam might know where I'm going. So me and Adam and some other people went to X Golf, which is a golf simulator place. Now, my presentation of the story and Adam's presentation are likely going to be much different, but I'll go ahead and give my style. So we're doing the golf simulator, and there's a woman that works there, and a girl, female. And I made the comment, I won't throw anyone else under the bus. I made the comment that she was a decently attractive individual. So we're hanging out, whatever, and she makes a comment about her college-age kid, and like said something about the college-age kid. And so I looked at, I think, Adam, and was like, did you hear her say that she had a college-age kid? Which was a surprise. She didn't look like she would be old enough for that. And so I go to pay later, and she looks at me and says, I saw you look at your friend when I said I had a kid in college. And so I thought I got called out for like making a comment about it. Adam says that she wasn't calling me out, but
no, I don't think she was. From my interpretation, she was like, did I hear you guys, like I saw you guys react. Like she wasn't singling you out. You were just the one that was paying at the time when she brought it up. But
moral of the story, changed the game as soon as she said she had a college-age kid. That kid's almost my age. I'm out on the mom.
Is he an athlete or anything?
You could be closer to her age than his age now. We're getting up there.
Yeah, that's true. But what would you say, Chris?
I said, was he an athlete or anything like that? Like,
is he D1?
Did he golf? Does he golf? We didn't ask enough qualified questions.
He's in a fraternity because she said she was going to mom's weekend, and I told her she needed to be careful with that.
Wait, was she in the group with you, or was she like just at the bay next to you?
She was working
there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was calling you out, Dave.
Exactly.
Chris wasn't even there, and he's saying that.
She was calling me out.
All right, so real quick, I feel like we've bagged on the ladies here. What would be like if you had a little sister, just a really good friend that you're close with, and she's like, I started talking to this guy, and she's describing him. What could she describe that you would immediately be like, stop talking to that guy? Or what would be something that you're like, okay, you can keep this dude around?
I don't think that I deserve to weigh in on a woman's decision.
Okay, fair.
Wow. Look at that profound statement.
I think it would be a red flag if a guy has a more rigorous like nighttime routine, like his like face wash, like his process of doing that. Like there's a point where it gets like too much, where you're like, it's too much of a red flag.
For sure. Little American Psycho, kind of, for sure.
But then it also goes both ways. If you are a grown man and you still use a 3-in-1, if you're using a shampoo, conditioner, body wash all in one, I feel like that's a red flag.
That is a red flag.
And then we can just lead this also into a discussion of red flags that I don't understand. Like Chris, you sent us a reel earlier.
The guy with the list.
And I feel like the internet also just like absolutely blows them out of proportion. Where I'll see one is like, if they have a mom, red flag. I'm like, what?
Don't be an only child.
Yeah. It's like, okay, sorry. But like one of the ones I don't understand, which I feel like I've seen a decent amount as like a common one, is like on a dating profile, if they post a picture holding a fish. It's like, I'm sorry that I'm trying to show you what I'm interested in. Like, why is that a red flag?
Yeah, I don't get that. Like, I think there's probably a picture floating around out there of me holding a fish.
I got lots of fish pics.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why that's an issue. You're into fishing. Like,
yeah, I don't see why that would be. What was the explanation as to why that would be a red flag?
They really don't like it.
They just don't like it.
They really
I don't know
don't
why.
like it.
Like, they don't really have a good reason. They're just like, no fish pics.
Okay.
And I've heard the same thing with golf too. So maybe it's just having activities that you enjoy.
Yeah, guys just can't have interest.
Yeah. I just don't.
It's like, oh, this is something. This is something that'll take his time away from me.
Yeah.
Ick.
Yeah. We've returned to ragging on the girls, but that is exactly right. I mean,
they don't listen anyway.
If they don't like the fact that you like fishing or golfing with the boys, then the reason is because they think that those activities are going to take away from your time.
And then, like, I've also feel like I've seen like reels where they're like, if you have too many just pictures of yourself on your dating profile, that's a red flag. Or if you have not enough pictures of just yourself, it's a red flag. It's like, what's the sweet spot here?
Too many red flags. Red flag.
Red flag.
Yep. I don't think I've taken a picture by myself and probably since I like graduated from law school or something.
Like, I was talking about this with some of Kristen's friends because I said the same thing. I'm like, that's just not a guy thing to take solo pictures. She's like, well, just a good picture and like crop people out. But I'm like, I think that's weird. Like,
I'll be honest. I've been dabbling with some solo pics every once in a while.
I was gonna say,
I've taken a solo of you or two, and I'm not mad about it. It's just not me.
Yeah, Chris likes a solo pic.
I don't like it. I'm just saying I'm dabbling in it every once in a while.
To be fair, like, I am very bad about taking pictures. Like, Kristen, when we got back from my bachelor party, she's like, oh, do you have any pictures? And I had to text you guys and ask who had pictures because the only one I had was of someone's butt.
Yeah.
Like, that's all I had of my entire bachelor party was just
stuff.
I'm telling you guys, it's the trading card game that we need to implement that no one will do with me. But you don't share photos unless the other person has photos of you to trade you. And it incentivizes everyone to take photos on the trip because Dave will hit me up at the end of the trip and I'll have a bunch of good photos that I've taken, but Dave hasn't taken any photos throughout the trip. And so
I'm a bad example. I feel like I take a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
But you take pictures of like the sky or like when we're golfing, like
a time lapse of the sun coming up.
Yeah,
that was sick. That was cool. That was cool.
So like you take scenic pictures, whereas Chris has like squad.
Hey,
pictures
everybody, come get in here! Like,
yeah,
pictures of the boat. Yeah, you're right.
Candids are big too. That we need to.
I'm gonna start doing that, Chris. Where I'll be like, hey, I got a Chris bar pick. If you can trade me an Adam pool pick.
Yeah, and you just say like going into the weekend, and you just remind everyone of like you're not gonna get pics of yourself unless you have pics of other people too.
I'll trade you 2 Daves and a me for 1 Chris.
And then imagine how valuable that Dancing Dave video is. I could get so many pictures for that.
I think you're the only one that has that
currency.
Dancing Dave video.
I got lots of good videos.
The amount of draft picks you could get for Dancing Dave would be off the charts.
Dancing Dave.
I feel like there's a lot of, unfortunately for me, there are a lot of photos out there of me that are me and not, I won't say compromised, but like just me looking dumb. Like our friend
you
Nick,
don't want for maybe the whole public
You do a
eye.
good job of having sunglasses on that blocks it though. Like
that's true. I'm always in some
You're always sunglassed up, and it blocks out the emptiness in the eyes.
The telltale signs of what could possibly be going on.
Nobody's
those
home.
eyes.
Yeah.
Our friend Mitch has a whole like album of pictures of just me on his phone.
Everybody has that. I have that.
Of just Dave?
Of just me?
Well, you have well, maybe if he like created it himself, but if you go to your photos and you go to albums, you can search by face, and there's a whole album associated to someone's face.
I did know that.
So you go to people.
I knew that also.
So like I'll click on this.
Do the sunglasses not do the trick on that?
No, and then I have a whole Dave album that's just all Dave photos.
Wow,
and
look at all
the
those
best
photos.
The best part about it is
that's true friendship.
I actually noticed this the other day. This is actually premiere content. Hold on. Give me 3 seconds. Somehow
2, 3.
I can't find it yet, but I'll just tell you what it is. So I have a picture on my phone in which Andy Reid is in the photo, and my iPhone classified Dave as Andy Reid. Isn't that great?
That's incredible. Is it like you at like a Chiefs training camp?
Yeah, I gotta find it. Oh my god,
Dude,
I just noticed it too. Like this week, it was so funny.
Oh my
No
god,
way.
Dave, you're growing out the mustache and only carrying around a clipboard.
Oh my god,
dude, that's incredible.
This is the caterpillar situation all over again.
No,
it's so funny.
Now
I'm just gonna start screenshotting pictures. I'm gonna start just saving pictures on my phone of Andy Reid and then see if it pairs them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, that's good stuff.
I got so many good Dave
That's
pics.
good
Look
stuff.
at these.
What? I've never seen that before. That's my mustache.
The mustache. You can see it a little bit.
Oh my gosh. This is all I got when I looked up you.
You only got one photo of me?
No. Oh, there's a solo pic right there.
There you go. Just post you and the bobblehead on the apps, Dave.
14 people.
Can we do an episode where the entire episode is just us building you a dating app profile?
Ooh, that'd be fun.
I don't know. We'll see. I'll have to think about that one.
What if I trade you 4 Chris's and a Bobo?
I'm in.
4 first rounds and a third round?
Exactly.
A third round? Oh, man. All right.
All right.
Moving on.
What's next? What's next?
You got anything good for us on the conspiracy front?
Okay, so I don't have specific conspiracy talk, but I do have some doomsday/apocalypse questions for you guys. So this is a debate that came up with me and Alexa actually last night, and we were talking. She was like, we watched that Leave the World Behind movie, and you watch these kind of apocalypse movies, and she's like, yeah, when I watch those, I always think like, oh, we should kind of like get some prepping supplies, and like we should at least have like water and stuff ready to go. And my response was, I was like, for the majority of the doomsday / apocalypse movies that I've seen, I'm kind of just like out. Like if that happened, I would just be like, all right, like I'd rather probably just die. Like
I don't want to survive just to live in this world.
Right. Any scenario in which like we have to like rebuild from scratch and like start over as humanity, like you can count me out. Like
I'm not integral in that.
So we watched Greenland last night because we started this discussion.
I should watch that.
And we were like, we should watch it. And so the whole time I was like, it's a great movie, by the way. It is a good movie.
It is good. I like it.
The whole time, Alexa and I are like strategizing, and I'm like, all right, if we get past the check line and we all have our wristbands and we leave that medication behind, no chance are we splitting up at that point to go back and get maybe a week's supply of insulin. Like, we go there, and if they don't have insulin, we're in the same situation we were before, but at least we have a chance of like surviving.
Exactly.
But then I was but then they also said that the meteor that was going to hit was twice the size of the one that took out the dinosaurs, which like if that happened, the world would be so like different that you wouldn't be able to come out of that silo for like 200 years. So the rest of your life, you're living in a silo. It's a great movie. Russell Crowe, right?
It is really good. Yeah.
It's Gerard.
Gerard Butler. Yeah.
The poor man's Russell Crowe.
He's still good though.
He is good.
But yeah, so like Bird Box, I'm out. I'm just dead. Kill me.
I Am Legend.
Quiet Place, I'm out. I Am Legend, I'm out.
Ooh, the new A Quiet Place looks good.
I Am Legend. Maybe I try and stick around with that because maybe
to be fair, I Am Legend. Like Will Smith thought he was the only person, so like that would stick.
True. I'm just saying anything that wipes out critical infrastructure in the world that like we're not going to be able to have like internet ever again, or like I just don't know if I can like I'm not built for that.
For me, it's not only wipes. For me, it's not that it wipes stuff out. That's not the thing that gets me. But if it's like I can only leave my house for like 2 hours out of the day, or some sort of mutant beast will eat me, then I'm out.
Well, and the other I agree with that, but the other thing I was
mine's more the apocalyptic. Like if there's something out there that's trying to kill me every time I leave my house, that first day I'm just walking outside,
because there's a whole
with
other
arms wide open and letting them take me.
Yeah, and there's a whole other element to it of like. So I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Love and Monsters on Netflix, but it's like
good film.
So like that is like one that I feel like I would like. They're just big monsters, and you could probably like learn how to kill them and stuff, and like, but you could still like kind of live life and probably set up like a base or like a homestead that's like well protected, and kind of give that a shot. But the other thing you have to think about is like the social dynamics that change of like how like small like pockets of like individuals with like lots of guns and crazy people will like rise to power in like your local area. So then you have to worry about, even if like you were just like living off the land and like trying to fend for yourself, you have to worry about like these mobs coming through that like take all your stuff and kill you. Like you're fighting on all fronts.
I feel like this is a similar category, different but similar. But like, how would you react if like the Purge movies, like if that was real, where like one night where all crime is legal?
Dude, my house would be on such lockdown.
I was going to say, are you a hunker down, or are you going out and getting into some mischief?
No, I'm a hunker. Well, come on. I think we know me. I'm kind of a hunker down type guy in that situation.
I might try and break into the baseball card store near my house.
I think
take all the cards.
Yeah. He's got a Wayne Gretzky 10 out of 10 in there.
I don't know, because the amount of money that it would cost to fortify your house like
measures.
That,
yep.
I think I would probably just try and get my pilot's license and then plan
just take to the
full,
skies.
Yeah, a full 24-hour trip or something.
Okay.
Where my family's just in the skies.
There you go.
Or we're on a cruise ship or on a yacht or something. We're out on our own.
You're always just planning vacation on Purge Day.
We're in Bahamas on Purge Day.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
I like that strategy. I like that strategy.
I do. I like that strategy too. But I mean, I don't know. I'm a hunker down in the Purge situation. I honestly.
But we've seen how that goes wrong. We've seen like in the third Purge movie, the guy has like the most extreme like crazy home, and that but like the criminals level up too, right? Like
yeah, it becomes like a challenge for them. It's
right.
like, oh, this guy thinks he's safe,
and so they go after the more expensive houses because they want to like kill the rich.
Yeah. No,
so
right.
if anything, you'd have to just destroy your house for a night. It's like make it think that there's nothing in there for them.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I watch those movies, and I think it seems like I always am strategizing, kind of like what you were talking about, like the end of the world apocalyptic movies. And I think that, I'm closer to Alexa in the fact that I'm always trying to think of ways I could prepare.
Yeah, but then it's just like it's also not even financially feasible. Like, okay,
no,
we're going to spend $4,000 on 2 satellite phones just in case like communications go down, or like we're going to stock like again, any situation in which I have to live off of beans and saltines and like refried meals for any more than like 14 months,
off of,
I'm out.
British
I'm just
breakfast.
out of that. Yeah, like no thanks.
And millions of dollars on an underground bunker that's deep enough to where
like you said, a quiet place, I would be dead so quick.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real about
stuff. If I can't make
stuff.
noise, I'm so dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be talking my ass off.
I'd try and get cool with the monsters. I'd be like, hey, come on. Let's
talk this one out.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah. Preview for Quiet Place 3 looks good though.
It does.
There you go.
We're gonna watch it for sure.
All right. Well, you took a different spin on the conspiracy corner.
Yeah, it was fun though. I liked it.
Do you genuinely think that would ever happen in our lifetime?
For sure. What?
Oh, it could. Yeah.
But I did not say do you think it could? Do you think it will?
What? No. Which one?
Well, we almost had an I Am Legend situation 3 years ago? 4 years ago? I mean,
like if it was I don't necessarily see zombies happening, but like
the Among Us, that fungus sure could happen.
Yeah. I mean,
you think so?
We couldn't the world couldn't handle the COVID hardly.
Texas can't handle a 1/4 inch of snow.
I mean,
I didn't say that I can see how it would happen. I'm saying, do you think it will happen in our lifetime? Like the one that would be most like the scariest and probably saddest thing that I could actually I'd be like the least surprised if it happened would be like
the bubonic plague.
Or no, I was saying more like chemical warfare where some people die, some people don't, and then you're kind of living on like, is land habitable?
Yeah.
You got infected folks.
Yeah, no, yeah. I mean, the way that the instability in world politics makes me believe that could happen. But to answer your question, I don't think it will. Either. Not in our lifetime.
I don't know.
It's one of those things. I just watched Oppenheimer this weekend, and it's one of those things that everyone knows what would happen if just one country dropped some sort of nuclear weapon. That the retaliation, the fear of retaliation makes you not want to do it because it would just basically be the end of the world.
Yeah. And
it's just the threat of it.
The fear of self-sabotage, too. You drop a bomb, and then the next thing you know is you kill everyone in your own country also.
It's just the threat of having it that keeps people on their toes.
I think probably the biggest threat to anything close to that happening would be either some type of technological attack in which they hack our core infrastructures and they take down the internet and they can take over our stoplights and all kinds of stuff that. That could cause huge problems that could send us in a real tailspin. And then once you
robots,
once you kind of create mass hysteria everywhere, then it's really easy for crazy stuff to happen, right?
Yeah.
So that's something fair. Like that, something like a civil war kind of happening in that regard as well. And then second to that, or maybe first to that, would be some type of airborne pathogen that would be horrible.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Wow, we took a real turn this week.
Yeah.
I love it. We got into some good nonsense.
I know. We sure did. We've just taken it to a dark place.
So have we discussed decided on punishment for the lyric challenge battle yet on the show?
I like the Hot Ones challenge.
Have we discussed it? I'm just making sure the viewers.
I think
know.
we talked
we're
about
locked.
it
We're
last
locked
week.
in on that. Okay.
Yeah, you have to.
I
do
like
that. Yep.
Hot Ones. I just didn't want to make you do that this week because you were down bad. You were recovering
we
from
struggled.
illness.
We struggled, but
throwing hot sauces on you would be.
No, we can do it next. We can do it next week though. It'll be good.
Nice. All right. Love that.
Well, let me get
You
it
just-
ordered first.
I was gonna say order them and then
We'll see what
shoot
delivery
shoot
time
out the
is.
Venmo.
Yeah. We don't need to be paying for expedited shipping. So we'll see
No.
what the standard turnaround time is.
Yes, just standard
Exactly.
turnaround.
Exactly.
Okay, are we at trivia time?
You want to do that?
Do we
What
want
are
to
we
fire
gonna-
it off? We're
what-
already at an hour,
Oh.
Well,
but we
Okay.
can come back just next week. We'll have a new game for you guys because we like to think that you guys love the game, but really we just love the game. So we're coming
Yeah.
back next week with the game.
All right. Love it.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. Deep tease.
deep tease. We know
Deep
what we're
tease.
doing next week.
As always, that's Nightly Nonsense.
Peace. Thanks for listening.
I'm a beautiful butterfly.
Love you.
See ya.
Sad.